What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of High Mythology, the show where we get higher than Apollo's chariot and try to tell you guys funny stories about mythology. Today we are talking about the Issun Boshi from Korea. Is it Korea or is it?
Heyo, I'm Kimbo.
Hey, Kim.
Tonight's story comes from a Japanese folklore.
Yeah, getting Japanese.
Oh, there are several versions of this, about 6. But it's such an old story that the identity of the author is unknown, and the first written evidence is somewhere in 1392 to 1573. This is such an old story, and you don't know exactly where it was pinned. But it probably wasn't really as widespread until the early Edo period.
Yeah, when they kind of started spreading more of that story time around.
Yeah. And I actually had never heard of this story until I was watching one of my animes, and they had mentioned hero tales, and everyone knows about Jason and the Argonauts and Troy and whatnot, and then it mentioned the 1-inch man. I was like, oh, what the fuck is that? Who the fuck is a 1-inch man? So there's the
1-inch man. Not usually something you brag about.
Yep. So there once was a couple who worked hard every day. And every day around dusk, the couple would go to a shrine and pray for a healthy baby boy. And so for years, their prayers went unanswered. Wouldn't that be funny if they were only praying and not having sex? I don't really know how it worked out.
Pray every night before bed. I crawl in between your legs, say my prayer, and then go to sleep. No babies.
So one evening, as the couple was praying next to the shrine, the wife added a little extra to her prayer, saying, "I don't care how small they are. I will love them unconditionally." And as the couple was headed home, they were passing a field and suddenly heard the cries of a baby. They searched and searched until the husband came across a tiny red cloth hiding under a grass leaf. He picked it up and then slowly uncovered the red cloth to reveal a tiny baby no bigger than his thumb.
Little baby thumb. Little thumb, baby.
So the wife smiles at her husband and says to him, "This is it. Our prayers have been answered. We will love him no matter what." And the couple returns home and decides to name him Issun Boshi, which in English translation means the 1-inch boy.
The 1-inch boy.
Its true meaning is the sun inch, and there's different measurements in Japanese.
Oh, so it might have been slightly different than an inch.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they probably, even modern
it's the size
day,
of
they
a
probably...
thumb, so you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The sun inch is probably a 2-inch.
They use the metric system, though, so even modern day to them, it's probably
before that, though, was a different system of measuring. So you know what I mean? So 16 years go by, and Issun Boshi has grown up into a young man, yet he never got any bigger than he was, and still no bigger than his father's thumb.
Oh, little thumb guy.
So he just basically transformed from a baby to a man, in appearance-wise, but stayed the same size. And the couple held true to their words, and they loved Issun Boshi with all their hearts. He was a good boy and loved the stories that his parents told him of samurais and their honor and courage. And then Issun Boshi decided he wanted to be a samurai and begged his parents for permission.
Fucking 1-inch samurai? Fuck yeah.
Yeah, dude. I'm if you grew up with stories like that, you'd be like, I'm unique. I can do shit like that.
Dude, if I was a normal samurai, that would be the coolest thing to roll with, is a 1-inch samurai that you carry around in your pocket.
When I think of you going as a samurai, I think of that one movie. Tom Cruise in it.
Tom Cruise, yeah.
I'm are you that white boy hanging out with all those Asian
samurai? You're just a white dude, though. But check out my 1-inch pocket samurai. I'll throw him at you.
Exactly. I mean, that would be kind of dope.
Yeah, throwing samurai. People are throwing ninja stars at you, and you just throw a little fucking 1-inch samurai at them.
Oh, God.
Issun Boshi, go kick some ass.
So he decided to beg for permission from his parents to travel to Kyoto to live out his dreams. His parents begged Issun Issun Boshi to see reason and stay at home safe with them. However, they could not sway his mind, and although they loved him dearly, they decided to let him go.
Someone could step on you, dude.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. His father gave Issun a needle sharpened into a sword because what's a samurai without his trusty sword, right?
Aw.
So get a needle, bitch. Here you go. This is tiny for you. It's
Little
perfect.
needle. He's already
And,
scary to me. I don't like needles.
And his mother gave him a bowl and a chopstick to use as a boat and an oar.
Shit. I'm glad we got a hold of this one before Disney did, too, because yeah, this is a Disney story in the making right here.
So they all agreed that the fastest way to Kyoto was to follow the river. And Issun leaves the next mid-morning. After a teary goodbye, Issun started his adventures to Kyoto. Issun had several close encounters with hungry fish, which he defended off with his needle. And then there were herring that stared at him with their lifeless, beady eyes.
Beady-eyed fucking herring.
It scared him a bit, apparently. There were also whirlpools and slight rapids that he had to use his chopsticks to get out of.
Navigating the
and
stream
get out
in
of
his
the
bowl
way
and
of
chopsticks.
oncoming rocks that were out there. So, after a few days on the river, Issun makes it to Kyoto, and he's amazed at how many people are living together in the city. He wandered around, dodging, scurrying feet, animals, wheels, cars, everything that...
Literally everything, because he's 1 inch tall.
Dude, what if a cat came across me?
Oh, God, that would be horrible.
Dude, my cat would fucking kill
And thus ends your samurai career.
She's not swayed by no fucking needle. You can stab her over and over. She don't fucking care. She is crazy.
They got a handful of needles. They'll fuck you up if you're only 1 inch tall.
So he eventually comes across the biggest, most beautiful home he had ever seen. And he makes his way to the entrance of the beautiful home, where there's a guard standing by the entrance of it. So next to the entrance was a little mat that gaitas were left on before entering a home. When that's a gaita is a Japanese sandal.
Yeah, you leave your shoes. You don't walk inside with your shoes on in
They got
Japan.
such
What
nice
are you
wood.
fucking?
You don't fucking do this shit. So, Issun Boshi stood on one of the gaitas and yelled as loud as he could at the guard, "Hello! Hello there down here!" But as loud as the noise, but the loud noises of the city drowned out his voice. Many hours had passed. All while Issun was still shouting, "Hello! Hello!
Hello! I'm tiny!"
So as the sun was starting to set and the city noises had calmed down, the guard yawns and lowers his head and finally starts to hear Issun yelling, "Hello!"
Oh, God, I bet he thought he was fucking tripping. Like, right? It has been a long shift.
What the fuck is this? The guard was astonished at what he was seeing, and he goes over to Issun and lays out his hand out flat. Issun climbs onto it, and the guard pulls his hand up close to his face and asks Issun, "What are you doing here?" And Issun replies, "I am here to become the greatest samurai of all of Japan. I am here to start my training and wish to see the lord of the house." The guard laughs and says, "This is the king's palace, the richest in all the lands, but I'll take you to him." And so the guard carries Issun to the king, sets him down before the king.
Taking him to the king, straight to the top.
The king was also amazed at Issun Boshi's small size and asks him, "What can you do for me?" Issun Boshi replies, "I must become a samurai. Please, your highness. I will become of great use to you." The king replies, "I have many samurai in my service. I do not need another one." Just then, a fly started flying around the king, who was clearly irritated by it by trying to swat it away. So Issun Boshi pulls out his sword and flew like lightning at the fly, killing it. The king was astonished at Issun Boshi's speed and very entertained by him.
Fly killer, man? fuck yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm like, this is better than a fly
Yeah,
swatter.
you instantly get a job, dude. Just please. Will you hang out on my shoulder for the entirety of every summer?
Oh, it gets better for him, actually. So the king decided to keep him around, and he would be charged with keeping the princess entertained while seeing to his training. So the princess was a very beautiful young lady, same age as Issun, and she was clever and witty, just like him.
Hey, baby.
So it didn't take long for them to become great friends. They did almost everything together. Picnics by the court, horseback riding, studying. With her books, him with his sword. You know, because he was still in training, too, while he was fucking in her service. You know what I mean?
Always got to train.
But the princess, you know, she can't be fucking seen with other people, common people. She's got to have, like, at least someone close of age to hang out with her.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And, you know, honestly, as a king, would you be threatened by a 1-inch man with your daughter? You know what I mean? It'd be like,
okay.
Yeah, go hang out with my daughter.
Go
She
ahead,
fucking
hang
needs
out.
some friends. You know, she got too many creepers hanging out.
Do your worst,
I don't like
bro.
the boys hanging out.
Do your worst. Yeah.
You are less of a threat to me. Exactly. So you know what I mean? So a year and a half goes by. And the princess decides she wants to go to a temple that is hosting a festival. And her father allows her to go. However, she was to be attended by 20 of the king's samurai and her, at this point, BFF, Issun. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 20 samurai and
friends.
a 1-inch man.
They were good friends, you know what I mean? So, like...
Oh, so was he? Did he get fully
yeah.
friend zoned, or is that, or is it?
I
about
mean,
to
honestly,
change?
you're fucking 1 inch. Of course, you're only
you're
friend
1 inch.
zoned. What are you gonna do?
You could.
What can she fucking? What are you gonna fucking?
You can just climb up there and just hug. You can just hug.
Oh my god! I just had the horrified fucking vision of this.
It's gonna get graphic for a second, but you just get up there and you just beat the shit out of the clitoris. Fisticuffs all day.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Oh my god, that's terrible. Jesus, how do we have the same disgusting mind?
Oh, yep. It had to go there.
Jesus Christ, Dustin.
But we all knew the second that he met the princess right where that was going to take us.
Oh my god. So, it takes a couple of days to get to the temple, and the road was treacherous with bandits and thieves. So it took a couple days after a couple days went by, everyone was prepared to leave. Because, you know, back in the day, you couldn't just be like, time to go.
Time to go.
We
nope,
have
we have to walk
on the
for
fucking
3
way.
months. So, yeah.
So this was a 2-day journey for them as well. But it took a couple days to prepare to leave. And once everyone got on their horses, Issun riding on the princess's shoulders, so to keep her entertained along the road, they took off for the temple festival. Along the road, they encountered a few bandits. Easily enough, they were defeated almost halfway through their journey as they were riding.
They just fucked up some bandits along the way.
Because, it's treacherous for bandits. You know, you come across a
that was
couple,
back in the good old days.
Nothing really
where
life-threatening for them, you know.
Just go on a trip to town, fuck up a couple of bandits on the way. Carry a 1-inch man around on your shoulder, constantly telling you jokes. What if he was just a really good comedian, too? So he had that going. He's just sitting there just cracking jokes.
Jokes to the princess as they're all getting brutally murdered. Jesus. Okay.
You see that one? Look at that. Was that a fucking man bun on that bandit?
So halfway through their journey as they were riding, 2 Oni, which are... They're horned creatures. You see them. Sometimes they have 1 eye. Sometimes they have 2 eyes. They're like ogre looking.
Ogre.
Red. They can be blue. Shit like that.
We'll probably do a whole episode or segment at some point about the Oni, I'm sure.
So 2 Oni jump out of the woods and block their path. And all the 20 samurai were scared out of their minds. And their horses, too. And they all fled. They like, peace, bitch.
Peace.
And so the princess's hordes was also scared shitless, and it jumps up, knocking the princess and Issun Boshi off the back of it.
Oh shit! Off the horse. That's what killed Christopher Reeves.
Oh shit! So the princess was on her knees, like she had fallen. She looking up at the Oni. She was terrified in horror, She was frozen and fright. She couldn't move. So Issun Boshi pulls out his sword and jumps in between the princess and the two Oni. And Issun Boshi yells out at the Onis, "Prepare yourselves!
Prepare yourselves!
You foul beast!
You
It is
foul
I!
beast! It is I!
Issun Boshi, the greatest samurai, charged with protecting the fair princess. You will never lay a finger on her."
Oh,
All
fuck
fucking
yeah.
heroic and shit, you know? So he then charges at one of the Oni and sticks his needles into his knee. The Oni screams in pain. What the fuck is this?
Ow!
He grabs Issun Boshi and inspects him and then says, "I thought I was mad, that the wind was talking to me. I see that you are merely a grape to me. I bet I could swallow you whole." And so the Ani chucks Issun Boshi into his mouth and swallows him whole.
Oh, he's gonna fuck up your insides, bro.
Issun Boshi falls down into the Ani's stomach and he gets up, thinks to himself, "You're going to regret messing with the greatest samurai in Japan, bitch." So Issun Boshi takes out his sword and starts stabbing the insides of the Ani. And the Ani was just about to grab the princess when he started grabbing his stomach and saying, "Ow, shit," bent over.
Yeah, going
You know?
to town on that fucking just colon, just perforating it. Yeah.
Issun Boshi continues to stab the shit out of the Ani's insides, and then he starts to use the needle to climb out of the Ani's throat. He then jumps out of the Oni's mouth and then flies like lightning at the other Ani and stabs him in the eye.
Fucking hey, this little dude's burly. He is not fucking around.
Both Oni drop their weapons and run back off into the woods, and Issun walks over to the princess to see if she was all right. The princess gets up and looks at one of the mallets that the Oni had dropped and gasps. She picks it up and she turns to Issun and says, "Do you know what this is?" Issun shakes his head no. She continues to say, "This is a magic mallet and it will grant the user one wish, and you can have any wish you wish for."
Anything you wish for.
Any wish you wish for.
Any wish you wish for.
I didn't.
What
Sorry.
wish do you wish you wished for?
I could tell you that I was drinking vodka at this point.
I wish I hadn't drank so much vodka at this point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, keep
Sorry,
going. What
I
did he
lost my
wish
spot.
for? You're holding us back. I'm guessing he's going to want
okay.
a better sword.
Issun Boshi says, "But your highness, you should go first. It is only right to let royalty go before a commoner." The princess exclaims, "But you are my hero, and you defeated them all by yourself. You deserve to go first, and I can always make my wish later. You can have anything you want, gold, land, your own kingdom." Issun Boshi thinks for a moment and then says, "I don't need riches or land. More than anything, I want to be normal-sized, and so that I may ask for your hand in marriage." The princess blushes and takes the mallet and bops Issun Boshi on the head. And he starts to grow until he is as tall as any other normal man. The princess
Yeah.
had slightly poor eyesight, could not truly see what Issun Boshi's face really looked like. You know, tiny little man.
No one could probably see what his face really looked like
Actually,
because
yeah.
he's got a tiny little fucking face.
So, but when he became normal size, she realized that he was so fucking handsome.
Yeah.
And then when the two they decided to go back to the palace because, you know, they didn't have their entourage anymore. They
Yeah.
kind of fucking took off.
Everyone else bounced.
Yeah. I'm sure they were punished in
Yeah.
some.
What if it's
I
what
wanna
if
hear
it's
the story
like
of how brutal
the divine
tortured they
twist
probably
too?
were.
Like he grew, but he still only has a 1-inch penis. so he's still the 1-inch man for the rest of his life.
Well, this is Japanese,
Hi.
so to be a normal size would be right?
Right. Hi.
Right. And I would assume that meant everything.
Oh
Normal
yeah.
size.
Everything. Completely average size, and the princess is like, "God damn it! That was
Yeah.
only half of my wish."
It does exist.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it.
Yeah. Japanese horse penis.
It was disturbing. Anyway,
Anyway, back to the story at hand.
when the two made it back to the palace, they had told the king what had happened, and the king was thankful for Issun Boshi's protection of his precious daughter, and had blessed the marriage to his daughter. They get married the next day, and Issun Boshi's parents come to live at the palace, and they all lived happily ever after.
And they all lived happily ever after.
And that is the story.
And that is the story
pretty
of
much
Issun
just
Boshi.
cut it
Cuts
off
off.
after
Yeah,
the
no,
climax,
he just gets a happy ending.
Like, that's just what he gets, bro.
Yeah.
Thanks for protecting my precious princess.
I guess he was the greatest samurai ever. Except for all the other cool samurai that we're probably going to do stories about.
They mention his parents coming to live with them. I'd be like, oh, I love my mom and all.
Yeah.
But you're going to need a fucking cabin that's at least...
Yeah. Oh, so even his folks got out of it. Even his folks got to come live with him. And they were probably confused, too. They're like, who the fuck are you?
Like, the story depicts them as, like, rice pickers, like a farm and stuff like that. So they were probably poor, but, you know, they just wanted a kid.
Yeah. And they couldn't figure out where it goes.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God! Remember that story that we heard about that couple that were like doing anal instead of didn't know that his wife was still a virgin.
Yeah. Yep.
Why aren't we
just
having
like
kids?
That. We pray every day.
Your wife is still a virgin. That's why.
That's why.
And there's actually because of the 6 stories, there's actually different variations of it where she's actually has given birth to the 1-inch man. Instead, wow. And she carried the 9 months and fed from her nipple the fucking baby. And
wow.
Watched the kid grow up and shit. I'm like, oh, but I like this version more.
Yeah, finding him in a field is better.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Giving birth to him would be funny, though, because if you think about it, she wouldn't even look pregnant. Yeah. It's like, are you even pregnant? You're not even showing. And then when it comes time to give birth, it's like, I think I'm giving birth. Oh, no, I gave birth.
Right?
Yeah.
I was like, I would feel
hey, little guy. Yeah.
Kind of reminds me.
Not even the size of a whole finger, just the thumb size. You know what I mean?
Coming out.
Just a little thumb, dude.
That's so
a little thumb baby.
That does not sound pleasant.
No, it sounds really weird.
It does.
If you're a kangaroo, though, that's completely normal. It just lives in your pouch.
Yeah, it does.
Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed the episode. The 1-inch man. Let's see. Our sources that we used are Nagata Soto, 1948. The Yang... oh, this is going to be hard to read. Whew. The Yanagita Guide to Japanese Folktale? Yanagita. Virginia Scored?
Yeah. Scold.
Tales Russian. Of Tears and Laughter. Short fiction with medieval Japan. Unbound Education.
Yes.
Yep. Thank you, everybody, and hope you look forward to more. We're going to start keep cranking out these episodes for you guys, so hope you enjoy them. Please let us know. Give it a listen. Let us know what you think. Request some stuff. We're always down to research some new stuff and make some new episodes. So, yeah. Have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night.